Okay, we're looking at my wife, Dana. I'm coaching her, believe it or not. She allows me to do that. I don't yell at her. She yells at me, but if I'm in the right seat, I do get allowed to yell at her. But unfortunately, this car only has one seat, so we have to do the personalized video coaching, putting it to the test here. We've got a VBOX data system. The car is a Porsche GT4 Club Sport year 2020. It's a really quick car. This is our first time at Spring Mountain Charleston Peak North course. The VBOX data system is spectacular. So a lot of info on the screen. Let me break down what you're looking at. Starting with left to right, 2 big boxes of video. The red box is on day 3, Sunday, after we've done some extensive video coaching and looking at her data in addition. On the right side, you're looking at the first day she's on the track, getting acclimated to it. I think this is her 3rd session on the first day. Down below, it's a speed trace. The red line is showing her speed at different sectors on the track all the way through the lap. When you see the red line above the blue, that means she's going faster in that specific section. So if I click on any specific point, the videos automatically synchronize and we can see how much faster she's going at specific sectors or exact spots on the track. As you can see here at this particular corner entry, she's going 109 miles per hour in the faster lap, only 94 miles per hour in the first lap. Pretty radical difference, right? So let's go through this, kind of show you what I'd be looking for if I'm just looking at the speed trace without the video. And that will help us zero in on matching the data with the video so we can show her, here's what happens if you do X. Here's what happens if you do Y. Now, the first thing we look at is the speed trace entering a braking zone. And that looks like this. I'll make a circle around these. Anytime you see what looks like a shark fin, that's the end of a straightaway or the beginning of a braking zone. And what you want to see is a steep, precipitous decline. You want to see the speed ascending relatively linear as she's accelerating down the straightaway. When she applies brakes at the end of a straight, you want to see a really steep drop off. And you want that shark fin to be very pointy at the top. You don't want to see a curvature at the top. That means she was kind of rolling off the throttle and a little bit more gradually applying the brakes. So let's find a corner where she was a little bit more tentative with her braking. This one right here. You can see how the curve sort of rolls off. It doesn't look like a steep shark fin. There's something else I want you to notice. Something we talk about a lot is called double braking. It's a big no-no, and Dana knows not to do it. Check out this speed trace here. You see these camel humps, the blue? Whenever you see brakes decline and then throttle increase and then brakes decline again, you know the driver started to brake at the end of a straightaway, realized they overbraked, accelerated again, and then brakes again more decisively. And you can see how much time is lost and how much speed is lost. In the red, she's accelerating all the way down through that section, and then she's braking in a threshold manner, meaning she's full brakes right before the ABS kicks in, and she's decelerating as quickly as humanly possible, and you see a nice steep deceleration curve there on the speed trace. I'm also looking for how much entry speed she's carrying and just overall how much cornering speed. So the next thing we'll look at is the troughs and how quickly is she getting back to full throttle commitment. And the name of the school is Full Throttle Driving Academy, so we focus a lot on commitment to full throttle. These troughs show that commitment or lack thereof. You'll notice the first trough over here on the left, you can see that she stops braking and then she's much more decisive in the red, getting back to full throttle progressively. There's not much of a flat spot or a graduation of the curve when it starts to ascend again and accelerate. As opposed to the blue lines, you see a much more gradual trough where she's rolling off the brakes more gradually, and then she's more gently applying the throttle. Much slower that way. And again, she's learning the track. So we're not going to beat her up for doing that. She's getting used to it. But those are some of the things that we definitely want to look at on the speed trace. And then the last thing I want to look at is just overall cornering speed. And you have long corners that are, sweepers. You want to see how much speed can be carried through those corners. So when we go to turn 1, we're decelerating here. We want to see right here, she's going through the apex. How quickly does she start getting to throttle? How much speed is she rolling through here? Look at the red. She's going 82 versus the blue at 74. And when we get all the way to the end of that straightaway, because she was carrying more speed through that corner, she's hauling ass. 109 at the end versus 94. Huge difference. This graph also allows us to kind of zero in on these and see how much time was lost or gained in each section, but we're not going to do that in this video. So let's start walking through this. I'm going to go through full speed, and since we're always coaching, I'll focus on the red video, and we'll go at full speed, and I'll annotate or voice over what she could continue to work on, even though this is a massive improvement. She went from, she got a 206 in the red lap versus a 219. So, what is that? 14 seconds? 13 seconds? 15 seconds? My brain's a little fuzzy today. It's a lot. 17 seconds, whatever it is. It's so much that you almost can't do the math because the improvement was so fast. All right. Again, we're going to look at the red from the beginning. I'm going to try to talk through this at full speed and tell her, okay, what could you have done even better, and try to drop this sucker down to a 205 or even a 204, maybe 203 someday. Here we go. All right, so we're going to brake lightly. We're going to roll speed. I think she can carry 2 or 3 miles per hour more here. We want to track out all the way because the car's pushed out to the exit. We want to commit to full braking. She was a little tentative there on the brake pressure. She missed her apex by 3 feet there, but she got back to full throttle. Great recovery. You want to brake harder. She wants to turn in later there. Rotate the car more. Good track out. Good full throttle. This corner, again, commit to full throttle to the end, then threshold brake. She was a little bit tentative. Roll a little bit more speed here. Rotate hard. Good apex there. Great full throttle. Great track out. Let's see how long she carries that full throttle. She needs to get back to the left here to set up for this hard right. Very good braking. That was maximum good trail braking. She turned in a tiny bit early there. I'd like to see her go later, but excellent track out. Now get all the way back over to the right. Full throttle. How long can you hold it? She really gently released. She should have gone further and then braked a little bit earlier. Full throttle here. She was a little tentative there. Full throttle now. Again, a little bit too tentative. Carry more speed on the entries. She should have carried full throttle longer, braked a little later. She can be about 80 here. She's at 75. All the way through 80, a little more full throttle now. Great, excellent track out. No complaints there. We want to brush the brakes here, get situated, rotate a lot. Good job. She gets on the curbing. That's great. Full throttle early. Excellent. This is a tricky corner coming up. We want to get threshold braking. She kind of waited a minute. Okay, she missed that apex by 10 feet, but she recovered full throttle. And here she turns in too early. We want to see a later apex there and be more to the right at that point to backside this first corner. Full throttle all the way through this section. The next full throttle. How fast can you go through this last right-hand sweeper? Pretty tentative there. I think she sees traffic in front of her, but she's still going fast. We want to rotate hard and stay way to the right. She's a little too far to the left. And then late apex this, get to throttle, track out more. She had 3 feet more to go on the right, but again, she's looking at the traffic. Still an excellent lap. And, 205.5 according to the data. I think we'll take that all day long. So I think that was exceptional. That's just an example of how we would do our coaching at Full Throttle Driving Academy. We'll continue to work with Dana and hopefully get her down to a 204 or 203 the next time we come visit this track.